Let me ask you something. From the outside, does your business look like it's doing well? You've got work coming in, you're busy, you're showing up every single day. Money's moving, and if someone looked at your business from the outside, they'd probably say, yeah, they're doing good. But internally, it doesn't feel like that. It feels tight. It feels like you're constantly pushing just to stay in the same place. It feels like no matter how much you get done, there's not much left at the end. And that gap between how things look and how they actually feel, that's not in your head, that's real. Most business owners I talk to are busy. They're booked out, they've got a great reputation, they're doing everything right. But when they actually sit down and look at their numbers, something doesn't quite add up. The profit doesn't match the effort, and it's usually not a sales problem. It's a visibility problem. I'm Shannon Howard. I work with HVAC owners, electricians, plumbers, and contractors to uncover hidden profit, fix those leaks, and help you keep more of what you earn. This is Profit Isn't an Accident. This is one of the hardest places to be in as a business owner because you can't easily explain it. You're not failing, you're not struggling to find work, you're not sitting around waiting for calls. You've built something and you've got momentum, but at the same time, you don't feel ahead, you don't feel stable, and you don't feel like this business is working for you. And what most people do in this situation is they ignore it. They tell themselves, this is just part of business. This is just how it is. This will get better when we grow more. But here's the problem with that thinking. If the structure underneath is off, growth makes it worse, not better. So let's define something clearly because this is where most people get it wrong. Activity is not success. Being busy is not success. Revenue is not success. Let me say that again in a different way. Just because your business is moving does not mean it's working. Because when people see it from the outside, right, they see activity. They see trucks are moving, jobs are getting done, invoices are going out. But what they don't see is what's actually being kept. And that's the part that matters. The real problem is this. You've built a business that generates revenue, but not enough profit. And those two things are not the same. Revenue is easy to grow, but profit requires structure. And if your structure isn't right, you can double your revenue and still feel stuck. So let's slow this down and really look at it because I want you to see yourself in this. You're running jobs all week, you're collecting payments, but when you look at your bank account, you're thinking, okay, money is coming in, but then bills hit, payroll hits, fuel hits, materials hit, something unexpected comes up. And suddenly that money you saw coming in is gone, like poof. And you're still sitting there thinking, how does this all make sense? With how much we're doing, with how busy we are, this should look a lot different. And you're right, it should. So where does this actually break? Because it's not random. It breaks in a few key places, and most people don't see it clearly. Number one, your pricing doesn't reflect your full business. Your estimates are built around labor and materials, but your business is bigger than the job. You've got overhead, you've got inefficiencies, time that you don't bill, things that could go wrong. And if your pricing doesn't carry all of that, you're going to feel it later. Number two, your overhead has grown, but your pricing hasn't. And this is huge. I see this a lot. You grow your business, you add trucks, people, tools, systems, and every one of those decisions increases your cost of doing business. But most people don't go back and adjust pricing fast enough. So now your business requires more money to run, but your jobs aren't bringing in more profit. And that gap, it's creating pressure. Number three, revenue is masking the issue. This is one of the most dangerous parts because money is coming in. You don't immediately see the problem. It just feels like, wow, we're busy, but you know what? Something's off. That's revenue hiding a profit issue. Number 4, you don't have clear visibility. You don't fully know what jobs are profitable, which ones aren't, where the money is leaking. So everything feels heavier than it should because you're operating without clarity. And this is where it hits because this isn't just about numbers. This affects how you feel every day. You wake up thinking about work. You carry it with you all day. You're constantly solving problems. And even though things look good, you don't feel relaxed. You don't feel confident and you don't feel in control. You feel like you're constantly trying to stay ahead of something. That's what a profit problem feels like. So let's redefine this because this matters. A successful business is not one that looks busy. A successful business is one that produces consistent profit. It gives you control. It creates that stability, and it's actually going to support you. And if your business doesn't do that yet, it's not there yet. And that's okay, but you need to see it clearly. Here's the shift I need you to make. Stop asking, how much are we doing? And start asking, how much are we keeping? Now, let me say that again because this is the whole episode in one sentence. You don't build a business on what comes in. You build it on what stays. Now, let's make this real because I don't want you just nodding along. I want you thinking differently. Go look at your last few weeks, not your best, not your worst, your normal, and ask yourself, did the work we do actually produce what I expected? And if the answer is, I'm not sure, then that's the problem because clarity should never be optional. Then ask, where did all that money actually go? Break it down slowly and honestly because most of the time it's not one big issue, it's a series of small ones. And those small ones, they stack. So if you've been feeling like this should feel better than it does, you're probably right. If you've been thinking with how busy we are, this doesn't make sense, you're right. That's not negativity, that's awareness. And that awareness is what allows you to fix it. So if your business looks successful, but it doesn't feel like it, that's your signal. Something underneath is not aligned. And once you start looking at profit the right way, that's when things change. Because when it's structured correctly, it doesn't just look good from the outside. It actually feels right on the inside too. If this hit, there is a reason. Most businesses aren't broken. They just don't have clear visibility into where the money's actually going. So if you want help finding it, grab my free Profit Edge playbook or book a quick session with me. You'll find everything in the show notes. And if you haven't already, follow the show so you don't miss what's next.